A1 and you know, kind of start to kind of question their own identity. So it's a complex relationship that forms between them. And I couldn't stand working with Chris.
In the center and the back.
Sorry, we've known each other for 10 years. It's our 4th movie together, so we know each other very well.
We go back.
Hi, how you doing? Dan Deavy from the Cinema Source. Question for Chris. I was wondering if you could talk about Captain America is really the only remaining wholesome apple pie all-American superhero. I mean, we just saw Superman grunting and screaming his way through a movie because he has to be all angst-ridden, but Captain gets to be the classic hero. Could you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. I mean, that's, you know, to be, you know, candid, that's kind of the hurdle with Captain America, is that his nature is to put himself last. His nature is to, you know, take everyone else's conflict and put it on his back. And as a result, it makes it difficult to find an interesting film because most complex characters have flaws. And Cap's, you know, he's a Boy Scout. I think what's good about this movie is that, you know, with the first Captain America film, it was about giving him the opportunity to serve, the opportunity to be a soldier. And then in Avengers, you have so many other characters and all these establishments of relationships, so you can't really dive too deeply into any individual character. In this movie, it's about showing Cap now given the opportunity to serve, given the ability to give of himself. The question now becomes, well, what's right? You know, I think he's so determined to be good, to be, you know, to do what's right. The conflict with at least modern society as opposed to the 40s is what is right. I think in the 40s it was very easy to say, well, Nazis are bad. We can all agree on that. Today, it's a little bit harder to know, well, where do you come, you know, who am I serving? And you know, with modern technology and the access, and this is pretty relevant today for all of us, you know, where's the line? What are we willing to compromise in terms of civil liberties to ensure security? And I think that's where it gets blurry for Cap, knowing, well, what's the right thing to do? And I think that makes it an interesting conflict for him, because it's not about just doing the right thing, it's what is the right thing? And I think we actually get to explore Cap struggling a little bit, because it's not black and white, it's gray. And I think that's where his relationship with Black Widow comes to fruition. That was a weird sound. Right? I won't do that again. The relationship with Black Widow is interesting because she's someone who's always had the ability to compromise her morals, and Cap is real black and white. And I think as a result, I can't say too much, but something happens.
Kid's got a potential whistleblowing future.
Sam! Take it easy! Something happens, and as a result, these two people from different worlds need to rely on one another, and as a result, you have two people who, on the surface, may seem very different, find a lot of common ground and learn quite a bit from one another. That came out pretty well.
Wow, man.
Ramascreen.com here. Chris, you mentioned relevant technology. It kind of goes along with my question here. In the first movie, the only reference you understood was flying monkeys. In the sequel, has Captain America become, you know, relevant with today's trend and up to date with what's going on?
Sure. I think you get a little tired if every joke is like, "What's the internet?" He gets it. I mean, that's the problem. Is he doesn't sling jokes. He's not sarcastic, so it's hard to find the humor unless the humor is self-deprecating. But you can't keep playing that one note of, I don't get it. What's going on in this modern world? You know, so it's. I think we're past. You know, he's up to speed. He knows how things work. He has a cell phone. So we're not just hitting that one note. We're trying to find humor in other places. Thanks to Mackie in large part. He's really good. He's a funny guy.
I disagree.
Right here in front.
My question's for Sebastian. I was wanting to ask you about